Today, Chef John Clements takes us through how to make a Chateaubriand with parsnip puree and mushroom red wine sauce. This is an amazing holiday dinner plate that will make everyone at the dinner table wanting more.
It's a craft, and I view it that way.
Hi, I'm John Clements, Executive Chef from Mission Point Resort. And even though we're closed right now, there's always something cooking in the kitchen. Holiday time's one of my favorite times of the year. Family, friends, and food are the focal point of the season, especially that food part. Today we're going to talk about a holiday dinner. We're going to go a little bit old school. We're going to do a Chateaubriand with parsnip puree and a mushroom red wine sauce to go over that. So let's get started. So I've got some cut up parsnips here and I've got some milk. I'm going to put those in a pot on the stove. And I'm going to let those cook until that parsnip is fork tender, because we're going to put that in a blender and to make our puree. Next, I'm going to get our sauce started. So I've got some cremini mushrooms that I've quartered. I have some red wine, and always make sure when you make a red wine sauce, it's a red wine that you'd want to drink. So make sure to use a good quality red wine. I've got a little bit of beef base. I've got some peppercorns and some bay leaf. And I'm going to add these three into my pot, let that simmer and reduce to almost half. So Chateaubriand, that's just a fancy name for tenderloin. It's the tail part of that tenderloin. And you can see I've taken that, tucked that tail underneath there, and I've tied that. If that looks a little bit too complicated, you can always ask your butcher to tie that for you. But it's really simple. I've tied that. Now I'm going to take a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. And I use this a lot for when I roast meats. So I'm going to put a little bit of Worcestershire sauce over the top. And then I've got a dry rub, one of my favorite dry rubs. This is a recipe that I've used for years. So it's got salt, pepper, oregano, basil, thyme, onion powder, garlic powder. So it's a nice rub. And I'm going to put that over and really get that nice and coated. Now while I let that set, I'm going to warm up a pan on the stove so I can sear that. And I've got my oven at 300 degrees so that I can roast that after that. I'm going to take this pan and put that right into the oven. Finished up our parsnips for fork tender. I'm putting them in a blender right now. My tenderloin was at about 115, 118. I pulled that out, let that rest, because the carryover cooking is going to take that almost about 10 degrees. So now I'm going to take off this butcher's twine. I'm going to put a little bit of parsnip on my plate too. I got two different. I can plate this or I can put it buffet style. There we go, a little classical dish for one of the holidays. I've got Chateaubriand roasted in the oven with a parsnip puree with a mushroom red wine jus on top. Again, a lot of the stuff can be made in advance so that you can spend more time with your family and friends. Pretty simple. Show how to do that. From our family to yours, have a happy holiday. From me, Chef John Clements, good eats.